there, this is Christa Harbridge with My Living Organized. This is the fourth and final, sadly, video of a four-part series on organization. I've also written a few articles featured on whereparentstalk.com, so if you dig the video, you might want to go check that out too. Let's do a quick review of the things that we've gone over in videos 1 through 3. We've chatted about 5 secrets of highly organized people. We've gone over ways that you can organize your whole entire household and activities and games that you can play to get your children involved in helping you out in the process. So in this video, let's chat about how you can get your family and your children involved and interested and willing to help keep the household organized. So at this point of the game, you will have followed the steps that we've already covered, and you will have grouped like items with like items. You'll have done a quick purge. You'll have found a designated home for them, and you'll have labeled the home. So now you're ready to have the family meeting. Before you call the meeting, you might want to do a quick little mental preparation first. Remember that saying, many hands make for light work? Well, that's the goal here. Mommy and Daddy need to learn to delegate. Mommy needs to learn to let go of that attachment of being needed. Now, your kids need you in a whole lot of ways, but they do not need you to pick up after them if they're fully capable of doing that for themselves. That they don't need. That is not your job anymore. Make a commitment to yourself and to your spouse, if you have one, or partner, that you will both enforce and adhere to the new family rules. So let's sit down to the family meeting now, shall we? First of all, keep it very positive and very pumped and very light and full of mojo and energy. Thank everybody for their contributions so far to getting the house organized and for separating things and to helping Mommy and Daddy out. Be specific with the things that you're grateful for and that you're appreciative of. Let them know that since things have gotten really organized, you have felt a whole lot happier. Hopefully, Mommy and Daddy's happiness means something to the children. Make them aware that running a household is not Mommy and Daddy's responsibility. It's the responsibility of everybody that lives in that household. And because of this, there are a few things that the family is going to be doing a little differently from now on. So here are some rules for some suggestions for some rules you might want to employ. Rule number 1, everybody's responsible for taking care of their own things. And everybody puts away their own things when they're done with them. Mommy and Daddy are too busy to be worrying about cleaning up after other people. So that is no longer going to happen. Rule number 2, no yelling in the house. Use your inside voices. If you need somebody, you go and you find them. You don't bellow through the house for them. I know this has nothing to do with organization, but trust me, when you finally have an organized home that is actually a peaceful home with no yelling, well, it's just a beautiful thing. So I thought I'd throw that in there. Rule number 3, dirty dishes go in the sink or wherever you want them to put them. Rule number 4, dirty laundry goes in the dirty laundry hamper. What a novel idea. Rule number 5, things are immediately returned to their designated homes and rightful places after they're done being used. Immediately. That goes for sports equipment as well. A lot of people I find keep their children's sports equipment in their bedrooms. I like the idea of keeping bins in either the laundry room or the mudroom or the garage that's in close vicinity of the door that they enter into after they come home from their sports game or practice or from playing outside. Label the bins with each of your child's name, and that's where you keep all of their stuff. It just has a greater likelihood of the things being returned there than if you're keeping it up in their bedroom. That's what I have found. I digress, but that was just such a great idea. I had to share it. All right, so we're on to rule number 6. If Mommy and Daddy need to spend their time and their energy cleaning up after your things, they're gone. Anything that's left where it's not supposed to be once it's finished being used is going to be donated or thrown out. In the first week, you'll get a reminder. In the second week, no reminder. Your things will just disappear. Now be prepared to follow through with this. Kids can smell empty promises and false threats a mile away. And if they can't smell them, well, then they quickly catch on when you're not actually following through with things. And they think, oh, whatever, Mom and Dad really didn't even mean business, so what do I care? I'll put my stuff where I want to put my stuff. So do follow through, and you'll find that you'll only have to throw out a few things, maybe once, maybe possibly twice, and your kids will learn real quick. Explain to them that when they leave their things where they're not supposed to leave them after they're finished using them, well, it just shows you that they don't really care about their things anyway. So you'll give them to a child who does care. In the second week, you'll probably find that all you have to do is walk up to the items that are misplaced and look at your child sideways, and then they'll quickly and immediately jump into action and put them where they're supposed to go. Now, this beautifully leads into the conversation of respecting their belongings and taking care of their things. When they don't put their things back to where they're supposed to, and when they don't take care of their things, they're showing that they don't have respect for the value. And they're showing that they don't respect or they don't appreciate the person that gave it to them. And moreover, they're showing that they're not grateful for the time and the energy and the money that it's taken that person to go and buy those things. The big overall lesson here is that in everything that they do, in every day, they have a choice. And every choice that they make, there's a consequence. What an amazing life lesson to be teaching your kids at a really young age. All right, so the fact of the matter is that some of those rules, it's just a general outline and just some suggestions, but they may or may not work for you and your house. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. So you know your family the best, and you know what rules are going to work in and be reasonable for your family. A really great idea for you is have a whiteboard or a chart of all the household chores. Now let's immediately replace the word chores with tasks or activities, because chores are, well, they're chores. When I'm cleaning my own house, I don't think of them as chores. I think of them as activities or tasks or projects. If I thought of everything as a chore, well, I probably wouldn't do anything. So let's just replace the negative connotation from the word chore. So on this chart, you'll have down the left column everybody's name, including Mom and Dad's name. And then along the top, you'll have the household task with an associated point system to it. When you're designating points to each task, you'll want to make sure that the points are reflective of the energy expenditure it takes to complete that task. Now, let your children pick and go around and take turns and let them choose which task they would like to take care of that week. I don't like using the word responsible for, even though they are, but taking care of something just kind of lightens the load a little bit. We'd like this activity to be very positive and light. We don't want them to associate this point board as the household chore board. When you're enforcing these things, use positive reinforcement, lots of hugs and lots of kisses and high fives and stickers or gold stars once they've accomplished a goal. If they associate the board with something that their parents are always nagging them about or they're always getting in trouble about, well, they're not going to feel too happy about playing along and participating. So when each child chooses what they would like to take care of that week, well, you'll highlight that specific box along the chart beside their name. Keep track of the points every single day and keep tallying them up. Make sure that this is not something that you just implement one day and then you forget about the next day or the next week. So you'll always have to be positively enforcing this new system. Here's an idea for you. You might want to have a family reward system so that when the family collectively reaches, say, 2,000 points, the whole family gets to go on an adventure together to Wonderland or Ontario Place. And this is actually a great thing because it gives them a reward, it gives them some motivation, and it teaches them accountability. What you might find if you have a couple of kids is the one child who really wants to go to Wonderland will hold their sibling accountable for putting more points up on the board, which is the ideal situation, and I've seen it done. And what they might also do is help their sibling take care of their tasks and help them with doing everything they need to do in order to generate more points on the board. Every week, sit down with the whole family for a short period of time on the same day every week, and then tally up the total points for everybody. This is an amazing exercise because they'll quickly see what is involved in running a household, and they'll see that mommy and daddy might have 100 points each, and they might have 20 points each. So then you can say, all right, guys, it's really great that you've got 20 points. I'm really proud of you. Great job. But look at mommy and daddy. They've got 100 points. So what can we take off of mommy and daddy's list that maybe you guys can help them with? And have them each choose something that they can lighten the mommy or daddy load by. It's a really great system. It's a really great activity. And as I said, I know a lot of people who have employed this, and they're very, very glad that they did. Make sure that you don't go overboard on the daily or the weekly reward system, though. You can still reward them in their small ways, and that's my cell phone ringing. Sorry about that. I thought I turned it off. You can still reward them in different ways, but just don't go overboard, because the ultimate reward is that they get to live in the house that they get to live in, and they get to have and play with all the toys that they have, and they get to sleep in their own bed without a whole family in there with all their siblings and parents in a one-bedroom house, as a lot of people in this world have to live like. They have running water and electricity. Need I go on? That is really their ultimate reward. I believe that it doesn't hurt kids to get a dose of good old-fashioned, back to the basics teaching and raising. I don't think it ever hurt anybody at all. So on that note, that concludes our 4th video. So I do hope that you have learned a thing or two, or felt a little inspired by some of the ideas. And yeah, I want to say thank you very much for watching, and good luck to you. That was fun. Check us out!